Hi, Pisces. Welcome to your September reading. September. We are in the last half of the year. Mercury retrograde is in full swing, so if I jump all over my words or like my mouth isn't working correctly today, yeah, great day to record. But I felt like these messages needed to get out, so here we are. Please be graceful with me. Um, so yeah, September, we're going to see some things happening. Venus is going to go direct. Mercury will station direct. Jupiter will join all the other outer planets retrograde. If you would like to know how all of that is going to affect you by your rising sign in a more personal way, our Patreon is up and running. It's going really, really well. There's a lot of content there. I also do mid-month tarot readings for sun, moon, and rising. And I'm working on the rising and sun sign astrology for September. So all of that information is below in the description box. And I'm also offering 44% off of my website until the 31st of August. There's just a couple days left. Excuse me. Using the code BIRTHDAY, you can get 44% off until August 31st. Midnight Mountain Time, August 31st. Yeah. So September is going to be the equinox. Winter is coming. I have seen in a lot of these readings that like Venus retrograde is sort of, as Venus goes direct, there's this like showing up for ourselves in some way, or there's this like revelation in some way. The readings have been really, really good. And I think it has to do with the Pisces full moon. That's happening tomorrow. It's on my birthday tomorrow. So we're going to share that energy. This Pisces full moon will be conjunct Saturn retrograde. And it's really like a final closure of wherever Pisces is in your chart. If you're Pisces rising, it'll be your first house. But just the parts of your life where you don't want to be the victim anymore. You don't want to, and we've all played that part, you guys. That's the thing. It's like we've all played that victim. We've all had that victim mentality in our lives. Everybody does that to themselves. But you're done. I think that you're really done. And you want to show up for yourself more. And so I think that this Pisces full moon that's happening tomorrow is allowing us to heal, like letting the light in and, really allowing us to heal the parts of ourselves that we've seen as the victim for a while. So let's see what it is that Pisces is surrendering. The power of surrender. What is Pisces? Sun, moon, and rising. Oh, that's the card. It's just, look at this. Just hanging out, right? See this? This is the one where you compare yourself with other people. I could tell, like when I popped it up, I was like, oh, I know that card. Surrender comparisons with other people. Keep your eyes trained on yourself. Focus on your own strengths, attractiveness, and power. So really, really, really finding that independence. Surrender those. I hope it's not too glary on your guys' end. It looked a little funny from this side. But so surrender comparisons with other people. And Mars is in Libra. So there's this real passive approach to getting things for ourselves, right? And I think that when we're comparing ourselves with other people, it's it makes us feel like we're just not good enough. And then we often feel like other people are making us feel like we're not good enough too. And then there's like this vicious cycle of just not feeling good enough. And that doesn't have to be that way, because you are absolutely 100% good enough for yourself, for your life, for your job, for your partner, for your friends, for your family. You are absolutely good enough. And so there's kind of, allowing yourself to see and not carrying that weight of what everybody else is doing in their lives. All right. 10 of Wands is the first card that came out, and then the 10 of Pentacles was the second. So there's this cycle. You're completing a cycle in your life where like you're done carrying and being overwhelmed by what the future is going to bring for you. I feel like that's what this is. The other thing is like these are both cycle, like the ending of a cycle. And a lot of times that heavy weight that we're carrying has nothing to do with what the outside world is showing us. It's the expectations that we've put on ourselves. I hate to say it that way. And a lot of that comes from the choices that we make. So I feel like you are laying down your expectations. But while doing that, there's also this fear. I think that you're afraid that if you don't work hard, that there's also not going to be a future or a foundation. The 8 of Swords, and then we have the 3 of Pentacles are the last two cards that came out. The 8 of Swords is a self-imposed imprisonment of the mind. Like you're being really hard on yourself. You're being really hard on yourself about starting a project, I feel like, or starting something new in your life. And it might be starting something new to make you money. I think that you're being really hard on yourself about that because, and maybe for some of you, it could be that a job that was really, really hard, you've decided that you're going to be leaving this job that was really, really hard. And now you're kind of freaking out because you're like, well, I got to have a new job though. Like I have to have a foundation. My footing has to be on something. For some of you, that's what this is. For others of you, I feel like, there's a certain life cycle of abundance that you once looked at, and it's almost like an identity crisis in a way, is what it feels like. Like, I don't believe in this type of abundance anymore, that this is what abundance looks like. But how do I pay my bills when I don't believe in that type of abundance? You know what I mean? It's like, it's that spiritual where you don't want to spiritually bypass yourself. And you want to, it's so hard. Life is really hard right now, you guys. Like, if we're going to be honest with each other and we're going to be honest about things, the reality out here in this world, life is hard. Like, it's just hard right now. And because life is hard, sometimes it's hard to believe that things will ever be good again, or things will get good, or, things aren't just going to constantly be bad. And I totally get that. That's, the suffering, right? This is that 8 of Swords, right? The suffering, the cycle of suffering. Because it really is in our minds to be suffering. Sometimes it's time to change certain aspects of our life because our belief systems have changed. And so now the outside of our lives are going to start changing as well. And if that means that our finances have to change, our environment has to change, the people we hang out with have to change, our job has to, whatever it is, right? It's because we've leveled up, and so now our life has to level up. And we can fight against that, and we can be afraid of it all we want. But if we fight against it, and if we stay afraid of it all we want, all we're doing is suffering. There is a level of acceptance in this world. It sucks that that's the truth. But that's how I can wake up every single day and be blessed that I can wake up every single day and live another day. Acceptance. Acceptance that this is my journey. I don't think about it anymore. It's just acceptance. It just is what is happening, right? And so you don't have to kill yourself for your life to look like another person's life. You know, that just makes you feel worse. That makes you feel terrible and worse. So let's clarify the 10 of Wands. What is it? You know, the ending of that. Okay. 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 Bottom of the deck is the 9 of Pentacles. Love that one. Love that one. Okay. 10 of Wands on the 7 of Swords. 7 of Swords on the 10 of Wands. So for some of you, you're feeling betrayed. For some of you, coming into September, you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling bitter, you're feeling resentful, you're feeling betrayed, and you feel like you're holding it all, like you're carrying it all. The weight of the world is on your shoulders, and you know, for some of you, somebody told the King of Swords, actually. You guys might have had a conversation or something, and you feel very betrayed by that. There's some kind of, you know, here's the thing. We have the 2 10s here, and the connection between the King of Swords and the 7 of Swords is really loud. So I feel like there's a decision that you also need to make, because where there's an ending, there's also a new beginning. And so you either, some of this is you feel really betrayed by an authority figure. For some of you, you feel betrayed by an air sign, or somebody who just has the air of acting like they're in charge or something. And I feel like this person is not helping your mental status. I don't know who that would be, right? Could be a partner, could be a parent, could be a boss. But they provided stability for you at one time. And that 10 of Pentacles is the completing of that cycle of them providing that stability for you. They're not doing it anymore. So then we have the Knight of Cups on the 8 of Swords. So this is where you take whatever has been said or done by the King of Swords and you flip it and reverse it in your mind, because the 8 of Swords are all of those negative things that have been said to you in your past. And you've repeated them so much that now they're the narrative. And all the fear and all of the I can't do this and I can't do that and all of the restrictions, right? And the fear and the kind of the box you put yourself in. So the Knight of Cups very much feels like, I want you to give love to that negative narrative in your mind. Like, I want you to flip the narrative in your mind. I want you to reverse the trauma of whatever's going on over here, because you are second guessing yourself about whether you're going to be able to make it. Like, that's what this feels like. You're second guessing yourself on whether you're going to be able to make it, and you're absolutely going to. All right. So we have the 7 of Pentacles and the 5 of Swords on the 3 of Pentacles. I think that 5 of Swords is you second guessing yourself. And I think that 5 of Swords stems from whatever the 7 of Swords betrayal was. And with Swords, it was probably a conversation, because now those words are stuck in your mind. The 7 of Pentacles is about being able to plant the seeds for this foundation over here that you're building. And I think that you're second guessing yourself and making yourself feel worse because of whatever was said over here. And then the 9 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. The 9 of Pentacles is about being independent and abundant all on your own. It represents Venus and Virgo. And I do feel like that's sort of like, you know, you're having to recognize that your foundation is what your foundation is supposed to look like, no matter what anybody else's foundations look like. No matter what anybody else is doing in their life, right? Surrender comparisons. Your foundation is supposed to look a certain way, and telling yourself that you're not doing good enough is only going to perpetuate that feeling, and you're not going to do things to make it better. You know, when we're telling ourselves that, we're not giving ourselves motivation to do anything to make it better. So we got to flip the narrative in September. I love you guys so much. Please take care of yourselves, and I hope you guys have a good September.